2022. It was a good year. First off, it was my graduation year, so obviously I'm really excited for that. But in the world of sports, the Warriors beat the Celtics in the finals. The Avalanche beat the Lightning in the Stanley Cup to prevent a three-peat. And Tom Brady and Ben Roethlisberger retired off together as two of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. And what now? I'm sorry? Oh, Tom Brady came back for another year? And ruined their chance going to Hall of Fame at the same time? Oh, okay. Well, I guess scratch that, and alright, he came back and played one more year, so I guess that was a lie. But anyway, in the world of baseball, Aaron Judge beat out Shohei Ohtani for the MVP, breaking the all-time AL home run record with 62. That was almost beat out last year by Cal Raleigh, but came just short. And Albert Pujols had one of the greatest retirement seasons and resurgence ever seen. And as usual, the Pirates sucked. But if that intro wasn't too clear, this video is going to be revolved around my Pittsburgh Pirates. Which I don't think I've ever really made a Pirates video here on my channel. I mean, no, I don't think I have. You know, Now that I think of it, I may have made one video, but yeah, I don't think I made any pirate videos. Alright, anyway. 2022 is not a great year for the Pirates. But, as you can tell by the title and thumbnail, here's how one player in one game landed the Pirates, Paul Skeens. It was a beautiful night in Pittsburgh on June 22nd, and the starting pitcher for the Pirates that night is Jerad Eickhoff, who was about to make his first start as a Pittsburgh Pirate after just being called up from AAA Indianapolis. Now, before we get on about what happened in this game or why he's important, let's get a little backstory on who Jerad Eickhoff actually is. Eickhoff was born in Evansville, Indiana, and his alma mater is Mater Dei High School. Sorry if I butchered that. He was initially a third baseman. That's right, Shohei Ohtani. Move aside, because we got Jerad Eickhoff now. Nah, I'm just kidding. He'd actually start pitching until his junior season in high school. So, that's kind of crazy. But he did not do both at the same time. After not getting drafted out of high school, he would turn down walk-on opportunities at Michigan State and Indiana, instead choosing a community college in Olney, Illinois for Olney Central College, a junior college, community college. His overall 2010 college stats were 16 appearances, a 3-2 record with a 6.69 ERA, with striking out 35 batters in 39 innings, which sounds pretty bad, but surprisingly enough, that was enough to get him drafted by the Chicago Cubs in the 46th round, but it's still drafted, and that was in a 2010 draft. But it was enough to get drafted, but obviously he didn't sign, and he went back for his sophomore year. However, he improved his game immensely, increasing his velocity on his fastball up to 95, which is huge from 2011. And it helped him break out for a big season. He finished with a 10-4 record and a 1.90 ERA in 88 2/3 innings, with a good strike-to-walk ratio with 116 strikeouts, with only walking 27 batters. That's pretty good. He won the Great Rivers Athletic Conference Pitcher of the Year, and after that season, he would commit to Western Kentucky, but he would not end up playing a game for Western Kentucky because he was drafted 474th overall in the 15th round by the Texas Rangers in 2011's draft. He would end up signing with them instead of going to Western Kentucky. And that would start his minor league career. But he never really did much as a minor leaguer with Texas. But he did enough in 2014 to get protected from the Rule 5 draft, as Texas added him to their 40-man roster to protect him, but he would never make his debut in 2014. And then come the trade deadline in 2015, Eickhoff and 5 other players were involved in a big deal with the Rangers and Phillies to bring the Rangers Cole Hamels and Jake Diekman from the Phillies, and Eichhoff and those 5 would go to the Phillies. Another big name in that deal was Jorge Alfaro, who would later get the Phillies JT Realmuto. And with this trade, Jared Eichhoff would see his first Major League action, as on August 21st, the Phillies would promote him to their Major League roster. And he would go on to have an overall disappointing, I'd say, Phillies tenure. I mean, he only had one good year, one solid year in 2016. He had a 3.65 ERA and a 1.15 ERA plus, which is good, and 197 in the third innings, striking out 167 batters. With 20 quality starts of his 33 starts, but I mean, he would never get back to those numbers after 2016, and that was his true rookie year. He did not qualify for the Rookie of the Year in 2016 because he pitched too many innings in 2015. So overall, he would never get back to those numbers with the Phillies after injuries and ineffectiveness. And he just, after the 2019 season, the Phillies would not bring him back. They would release him at the end of the 2019 season, which would lead him to sign a minor league deal with the San Diego Padres. But he would never make an appearance in 2020 because COVID, and there was no minor league, so he didn't play because of COVID, and they just released him because he was never going to make their team, and he didn't play. But in that same year, he would sign on with the Rangers, but again, due to the same COVID, no minor league system, he would never make an appearance. At the end of 2020, he would choose free agency and sign on with the Mets to begin the 2021 season, where he would actually make the majors again and make 5 appearances for them. But it did not go great. He finished his Mets tenure with an 8.69 ERA in 19 2/3 innings. And his last appearance with the Mets, he gave up 10 runs against the division rival Atlanta Braves. And right after that game, he would be DFA'd. Now, keep that game in mind against the Braves, where he gave up 10 runs in a start. Remember this game. Keep this game in the back of your mind. We'll get back to this game in a minute. In that offseason, he would sign a minor league deal with the Pirates. Hey, remember them? You know what? I think it's finally time we get into this game on June 22nd and why Jared Eichhoff is the reason the Pirates landed Paul Skeens. In my opinion, at least. Anyway, let's get into the second half of this video. Now, Jared Eichhoff would get called up to the Pirates ahead of the game on June 22nd, a game he would start. Man, he must have been really lighting up AAA then with the Indianapolis Indians. I'm sorry? What's that? Oh, he had a 5.40 ERA in 43 in a third innings. Oh. So he wasn't lighting it up. Oh. Yeah, I don't know how he got caught up then, but okay, anyway. I guess it could be described that going into the month of June, the Pirates weren't at a great record. They were 21 27, and they ended up going on a big skid and falling down to a record of 28 39, and included a 9-game losing streak entering the game. And they entered the game with a record in June of a 7-12, and that would have been worse if they didn't have a 3-game winning streak going into the game. And they might be thinking, Jared Eichhoff, we'll give him a shot. You know, he's had the pedigree in the past. You know, he can eat us some innings. And they were like, yeah, what's to lose? And he would take on the Chicago Cubs. Now the Cubs they were in a worse spot going into June with a 20-29 record. The Cubs also went on a skid, losing with a 5-14 record and a 10-game losing streak. Yeah, upping the Pirates by one more game. And their overall record going into this game was 25-43. Yeah, worse than the Pirates. And now we finally get on to what happened in this game in the first place. Now, Eichhoff would actually start perfectly fine. He would get a strikeout in the first inning, and he'd pitch a scoreless inning. He would let 2 runners on, but he would strand them. Fine inning. But when the Pirates offense also did the same thing, stranding 2 runners, it didn't really look that great. And then we head into what would be a nightmare second inning. Now, to start the second inning, it started off with 5 straight Cubs reaching base in a sequence not in this exact order, with 2 doubles, 2 singles, and 2 hit by batters with a out in the middle of those. One of the hit by pitchers scored a run with the bases loaded, and another few more hits here and then would make it 5-0 with only 1 out recorded. Then Pittsburgh native Ian Happ steps up and hits a 2-run home run, making it 7-0. And that ends a 7-run inning for the Cubs in the top of the second. Now, Ian Happ is a known Pirates killer. Can I get into some trivia and ranting about Ian Happ for a second? Well, first, we'll talk about this trivia. Here's a trivia question for you. Ian Happ hits over 300 against only 2 teams in the entire MLB. 2 teams he hits 300 against. I'll give you one of them. One of the teams is the Athletics. Take a wild guess on who the other team is. Just take a wild guess. You have a guess? Yep, it's the Pirates. Of course, I don't know what you're doing here if you didn't guess the Pirates. He has a .310 average against the Pirates in 124 games and 501 plate appearances. For perspective, Ian Happ's .327 average against the A's is in 12 games and 54 plate appearances. So yeah, he kind of owns the Pirates a little bit, and not like batting average is everything these days. If batting average ain't your thing, how about a 4-on-4 on base percentage, or a .543 slugging for a .947 OPS, which outside of the Athletics is only 7 points lower than his highest OPS against any other team, and that team is the Reds. And the only reason it's higher is because he slugs more against the Reds, and that has to do with him hitting way more home runs against the Reds than the Pirates. But he does everything else better against the Pirates. He's simply the only team he destroys is the Pirates, pretty much. No other division rival comes close except the Reds, where he hits more home runs against, and he's only 7 OPS points away outside of the Athletics, but that's only in 12 games. But yeah, if Ian Happ played a full season only against the Pirates, he would win MVP, probably. Now back to the game. Sorry for ranting about Ian Happ. Eichhoff would get the next 2 outs very quickly after giving up the 2-run home run. Shockingly, he would come out and pitch a clean 3rd inning. Another strikeout, making that 3 strikeouts on an overall rough day though, but he would get through it, with the score going into the 4th inning being 7-1. I mean, it can't really get worse for Eichhoff, can it? Well, he hit the leadoff hitter of the inning, Rafael Ortega, bringing up Patrick Wisdom, and Wisdom hit a 2-run home run. It's 9-1 Cubs. Oh boy. And no, that is not the end of Jared Eichhoff just yet. He would, in fact, get the next 2 outs pretty quickly. Another quick bottom in the 4th from the Pirates offense, whose only offense at this point is 1 run, a solo home run from Diego Castillo in the 2nd inning. Now, Eichhoff does come out for the 5th inning, even after giving up 9 runs on the day. But he's still going at it. But after Jonathan Villar leads off the inning with a triple, and Nico Horner sac fly, and then back-to-back hits, that's about enough for Derek Shelton to come out and take him. And Jared Eichhoff's day is over with 4 1/3 innings pitched and 10 runs given up. And the Cubs will go on to win easily 14-5 after both teams put up runs in the 9th inning that really didn't mean that much anyway. And with him giving up those 10 runs in the outing, remember back when I said don't forget about that Braves start with the Mets against the Braves? Well, with this outing giving up 10 runs, he kind of made a little bit of history. Not the good kind, though. They were technically back-to-back starts, so that makes him the first pitcher since Chubby Dean. Who is Chubby Dean? I mean, here's his baseball reference. It doesn't even have him listed as it has him listed as a pitcher, but his stats are as a hitter. I mean, like, what? Anyway, he was the first pitcher since Chubby Dean to give up at least 10 runs in back-to-back starts. He also made a little bit of Pirates history. Again, not the good kind, but he became the first Pirates pitcher to give up 10 runs in their first start for them. And that was all she wrote for Jared Eichhoff's Pirates tenure. It would actually last a day, but then 2 days after, they would DFA him and release him back into AAA. He actually would finish out with AAA. They wouldn't release him off the team, but he would never pitch again for the Pirates. And matter of fact, he would never pitch again in the major leagues. He would sign another minor league deal with Cleveland in 2023, but he would never make the majors, and then after 2023, he would never sign a minor league contract again, or even a major league contract. He would never sign another contract as a player, at least. He did, in fact, sign a contract to be a Miami Marlins for their Double-A team in 2024. And then, just before the start of the 2026 season, he got promoted to Triple-A. So, hey, he's not doing half bad for himself now. Now, after all of that, I'm sure you're still wondering here how this meaningless little game between two teams that didn't even make the playoffs in June led the Pirates to getting Paul Skeens. Well, I really hope you like butterfly effects, because I'll explain that. I'll explain that in a second on why this led to them getting Paul Skeens. You see, before the 2022 season, during the CBA negotiations between owners and players, they agreed to a draft lottery to help prevent tanking, or whatever they actually decided with. I don't know the exact reason, but I think tanking was the reason, but I could be wrong. And the draft lottery works by taking the teams who missed the playoffs in the previous year and gives them odds based on their record, based on where they finished in the standings. And they fight for the top 6 is the lottery. Top 6 picks in the draft are all in the lottery. And the 3 worst teams from the previous year get the highest equal odds at like 16%. And that gives you the equal odds to getting the first overall pick. And because of Jared Eichhoff's start on June 22nd, resulted in a big loss and not a win, and he never made another appearance for the Pirates. And the Pirates finished with a 62-100 record, 3rd worst in the league behind the Nationals and A's, but tied with the Reds, also at 62-100. And the rule for ties, it goes off of the previous year's record, which the Pirates had a worse record than the Reds, means the Pirates claimed that 3rd lottery spot over the Reds, and the Reds would claim the 4th. Now that 4th odds would drop down to 7th overall, which means the Reds dropped from 4th to 7th, as I think like the Twins jumped up on them. I think the Twins got like 4th. Yeah, that's where they selected Walker Jenkins. And it just so happens the 3rd slot won the lottery, which was the Pirates. So they jumped up 1, letting them select Paul Skeens. So now, let's give a deep dive on Paul Skeens' career. I'm absolutely kidding. No, I'll just give... no, we don't need to do that, but... I'll just go briefly over his career. He had one of the best rookie seasons by a pitcher ever. Because of that, he won the NL Rookie of the Year, deservingly. Screw you all, you Jackson Merrill stands out there. I hate you all. I don't personally hate you, he was better than Jackson Merrill. Jackson Merrill didn't even have a better rookie year than Brian Reynolds' rookie year. Look it up. They have the same stats, pretty much, and Reynolds was a bit better. Alright, sorry for that tangent. And then the next year, he just comes out and wins the Cy Young for the first time for the Pirates since the 90s, since Doug Drabeck won it. And and with the Pirates actually making some moves to upgrade their team on offense, and with all the other pitchers on the staff they have, they can maybe turn this, and they can hopefully turn this into a playoff run with Paul Skeens and the rest of the team. I mean, I really hope they can. But maybe a playoff run and for a few years, maybe, and then afterwards, I don't know what happened. You know, please keep Skeens. But in reality, it's really up to you if you really want to believe that the Pirates got Paul Skeens because of Jared Eichhoff. I mean, I do. I mean, in reality, if the Pirates, instead of getting a loss, win that game, if Jared Eichhoff comes out and wins that game for the Pirates, that gives them one more win. Maybe he actually goes on a run and wins more games with the Pirates and actually go on a better record. But instead of that, maybe he just wins that one game, and that means the Pirates jump up above the Reds in the standings at 63.99, and the Reds are 62.100. That means the Reds would get the 3rd slot, and the Pirates would have gotten the 4th slot. And yeah, that means the Pirates would have dropped down to 7, and the Reds would have won the lottery, getting 1st overall, potentially picking Paul Skeens. So yeah, I'm kind of glad it didn't swap, and Paul Skeens isn't a part of the Reds right now, and he's actually on the Pirates. But we could thank Jerad Eickhoff's 1 start, 10-run outing to thank as Pirates fans for Paul Skeens. But if you actually want to believe that or not, that's up to you. I mean, I fully want to believe it because it's the one game and it's butterfly-esque, you know. So, you know, that's how Jerad Eickhoff helped the Pirates get Paul Skeens. But that's it. That's everything. But yeah. So that was a huge butterfly effect on why Jerad Eickhoff helped the Pirates get Paul Skeens. I enjoyed doing this video. It was fun. It's a little bit longer, but you know, I enjoyed it. It was fun diving into this, and hopefully the Pirates can capitalize on the time they have with Paul Skeens, and hopefully that time is very long. They did extend Connor Griffin. Now will they sign Paul Skeens? God, probably not, but they have about 3 to 4 more years with them, so maybe they can capitalize. But anyway, thank you for watching. Yeah, there's nothing else. I'll see you in the next videos. I stream. Peace.